We are here with Matthew Helme, longtime friend of mine. um, he wanted to share, or I asked him actually to share his journey in this last couple of months because he's been going through a little something. And I always like to connect with people and try to get their story and get it out there for you so you can know that other people are kind of going through the same things you are. So, Matt, without any more ado, can you tell me how is it that you came to like get the nutritionalist and start working out and all the things that you're doing now, and why?
Sure. Well, the journey started off and on many years ago, and I never fully committed to any project, for lack of a better word. I always fell short, no matter what I tried. If it was like trying to do bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever the case may be, I never fully committed. And this year, well, my weight's always fluctuated, and this year it fluctuated pretty bad. So I gained a significant amount of weight, and recently was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And then that's when I decided to stop playing games, got serious, through a good friend who's doing the nutrition that I'm entered in, found a nutritionist. His name is Nathan Payton.
Okay.
He's a nutritionist for the running back for the Giants, 3 or 4 different world's strongest men. He's I'll even share this part. I actually had to borrow money to work with him.
Wow.
I borrowed money and worked it off. Sorry, I just banged the computer. Anyway,
Okay.
so I got serious, and first time working with a nutritionist, and I have to say it's really paying off. Since October, I've dropped 32 pounds.
Wow.
And the competition that I'm in, it's a strongman competition that's coming up in April. It's coming up quick. So I'm lighter and I'm actually stronger. So this guy definitely knows what he's doing, and it was worth the investment. See, we've on top of getting ready for this competition, we're working on my blood levels, my blood sugar levels to be exact. So that's been lowered and regulated, and I'm actually intrigued to see what my next readings are going to be. My next appointment is this Thursday. That's when I'm getting blood drawn, and then probably in a week or two, I'll get those results and see how far we've come along.
Well, what made you think, oh, there's something wrong? Or were you just running around and didn't think there was anything wrong?
No, something was definitely wrong. I wasn't. I got a couple. I cut myself, and it wasn't healing, and that was a little weird. I usually heal pretty good, and this just wasn't closing, and I was scarring easier. And I noticed a few times I was getting like, I was at a party a while ago, and I had a few. Was it the twisted teas?
Okay.
I had a few of them, and I was hot, I was sweaty. So there was a few signs that something was wrong. My feet were always tingly, my calves were like cold and dry skin, like a lot of weird, uncharacteristic things. And I was like, okay, something's just not right. And we started with the blood work, and that showed up right away that I went from pre-diabetic to type 2.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that they caught it. And I know you told me that you were in the midst of fasting, right?
What's that?
You said you were fasting?
Yes. Let's see, May I was fasting, and the readings were pre-diabetic, and the doctor kept asking me, was I fasting? And I was like, yes, I was fasting. I think 8 hours is the minimum, and I was fasting for about close to 12 hours. And it was the same time back in September. I fasted for a good 10, 12 hours, and my blood sugar was still type 2. doctor, same thing, asking if I was fasting or not. She thought maybe I was lying a little bit, and I told her, I was like, no, I really was fasting. So yeah, both readings, I didn't eat a thing for 10, 12 hours, and both readings were high. And September was obviously worse than back in May. And that's what really kicked this current journey off, to stop half-assing and take things serious.
Well, I'm glad that you caught it I guess in a nick of time. So how are you able to do your workout and everything? Is there a gym that you're going to that's open? Like,
Yes.
what are you doing?
My friend Patrick, he's a block away, owns Level Up Studio, and he gave me a key. And I train with him twice a week, and it's by appointment only.
I see.
Fortunate, very fortunate to still be able to train like that. Most facilities are open, but you have to wear a mask.
Right.
I don't have to. He has to wear a mask, but I don't have to.
Okay. So individual.
So when I'm running with heavy weight, I don't have to worry about suffocating.
So I have to tell people, because you are our urban Paul Bunyan. Why and how did you get that name, sir?
Well, I've been in the tree care industry. This is my 27th year. So I earned that name. I'm a full-fledged tree guy.
All right. So when he says tree guy, I just want people to understand that tree guy means that Matt will send you a picture of him about, a good, 12, 14, I don't even know how many feet above the earth. Like, hey, just an average day. I'm like, okay, that's not an average day. That's just not average. No way, shape, or form is that average, dude. Like, my view, not unless I'm in a plane or something, is usually not from that angle.
Right.
Birds going by me or sitting right next to me, usually on a given day, not normally,
Right.
especially outside with nothing else there. So I have had those photos, which are incredible. So you had told me earlier that this does or doesn't run in your family, but you said it's more self-induced.
Yeah. It's exactly that. It's just not taking care of yourself. Just high levels of sugar, like drinking the twisted teas, or both alcohol and sugar. I was an idiot. There's no other way to say it.
Okay, well, we won't call you that. I think you just, I think sometimes it just gets away from us and you're not paying attention. So what are you doing differently now, compared to then? Like, what are some of the things that you've added to your diet? How'd you change your diet?
Well, I'm eating a strict 5 meals a day, a portion of protein, and it's either protein and a fruit, or a protein, vegetable, and a carb. That's every day. Nathan does give me a cheat meal, not a cheat day, except for holidays. He gave me Christmas for the whole day, and
Woo.
Thanksgiving the whole day.
All right, a whole day.
So the portions are weighed out. The meals are pretty predictable at this point, since I've been going. Yeah, early October is when I started.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of measuring them out. To give you an example, one meal is 7 ounces of protein, either meat, chicken, fish, and for the fruit, it could be chips or a cup of strawberries. It's that specific.
Okay.
Or a box of raisins. That's counted as a fruit.
Woo woo, you got the raisins there.
Yeah, I'm living on the edge.
All right, but how do you feel now?
I feel good. I feel really good, and you can also see the results too. You can tell I've definitely trimmed down, and it's working. I'm getting a little lost some fat. I'm getting a little bit more muscular, and getting much more stronger. It's pretty impressive. This is just phase one, so I have no idea what this guy Nathan is going to throw at me for phase 2. The most important thing for this phase was to get my blood sugar under control.
Right.
To get that down and level and regulated.
All right. So how much cardio, how much weight, what's your blend there so far?
It's one big mess of heavy stuff. The cardio is mixed in with the because if you ever watched the Strongman show, they actually walk as fast as they can or run with heavy weights, whether it's a stone or farmer's carry. So that's actually my cardio. I'd say the most cardio I do is pushing the sled for about 30 minutes. I don't know if you're familiar with sled work, but it's kind of brutal. So that's the cardio. The weightlifting is a combination of powerlifting moves and awkward objects like logs, stones. What else does he have me doing? Thick handlebar deadlifts, stuff like that. It's very, very unconventional.
Okay. All righty then. Sled. Okay, I know I've never heard of that. Not that I would have heard of that. Why would I? They don't have that normally in the gym. It's just not something they say, hey, here's what you're going to do today. Not the norm. No, it's just not. But why would you be normal, Matt? Why? All right. So we're getting this diabetes in check, which is great. You're going to go Thursday and find out what that's going about.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't change anything in the past, but okay, even if you weren't doing a Strongman, what's some of the things that you want to keep in your everyday? Like, what's your takeaway from this now?
My takeaway is definitely how important nutrition is and how big of a factor it is on daily life, not just people who exercise. That would probably be one of my biggest takeaways. And the sled work I talked about, that's next level evil. That's a good way to work out your whole body in like half an hour.
Okay, so are you like really pushing a sleigh? Like, how does this work? What does it look like? I have no.
It's you can either push it or pull it with straps. It's the bottom does look like the closest thing I could compare it to would be like a small toboggan almost.
Okay.
Like a small toboggan, and you put weights in it and you push it. And you can put in as much weights or take it, it's that's the best way I could. So you could either like the Jamaican sled team.
Right.
You know how they push that thing and jump in it?
Yeah.
So you could either push it similar like that, but you'll be behind. There's usually one guy in the sled team from completely behind pushing. So you either push it like that, or even, what's a better example? Did you ever watch football training?
Yeah.
When they hit those pads and it's on a sled?
Yes.
It looks, it looks more like that than anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
So not that that's important, but as far as like an exercising implement, I can't believe how beneficial that thing. It really packs an hour or two of cardio into 20 minutes.
Wow. I guess yes, it would, wouldn't it? So you said that you're going to do the Strongman. What's the date again?
The exact date is April 24th.
And where's that going to be held?
Peabody, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Just a few minutes north of Boston.
All right, I'm going to write that in our comments down there just in case somebody wants to check you out and see what's going on. How many people normally do these kind of contests? Do you know? This is your first one, right?
This is my very first one. I'm in the novice heavyweight category.
Oh, okay.
And right now, I think there's 4 or 5 of us entered so far.
Oh.
You can register all the way up to late March, I believe. So there might be more people entering. I went to go see my first strongman contest last month, and there was about 15. There's about 15 in the middleweight, and about maybe 8 or 10 in the heavyweights.
Okay.
So there's usually, depending on the event itself, it could be as little as like 10 up to 20 or 30.
Wow.
I think this is going to be a smaller event because it's strictly novice only. There's no intermediates or pros.
Okay. And so if you take your class in this, then do you then turn pro? Can you turn pro in this?
I think I can go to a national event, and then after national I could possibly go pro.
Well, look at there. I learned something new today. Yes, this is cool. Because I know about that other stuff with turning pro and all that kind of stuff, but I know nothing about the strongman. So that's amazing. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm psyched for you. I'm so glad that you found out again about your health and that you were able to put it in check quickly.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's easier to go pro in the arena. It's not nearly as difficult as bodybuilding, but to get to the top of strongman that takes some serious determination.
Well, it seems like this is determination too. I mean, how many people are here pushing sleds around? Not a normal thing. Okay. I don't see them. I don't see them. Not on my street, not on my block. So I wouldn't take away from that. Okay. I think it's a pretty large feat, literally, to be pushing a sleigh around. So you didn't tell us how much weight is it in this thing that you're pushing, or how much does it weigh?
I work up to 630 pounds.
Human okay, yeah, hello. Yeah, that's not normal. that's not. No. There is no one pushing a 630-pound sleigh down my street. Okay, so please don't demean that or say that it's not that, it's not that hard. Yeah. That's you saying it's normal. For you, Matt, Mr. Tree Guy, that may be normal. To, John down the street, that's not normal. Wow. Okay. And how did all this get you to doing the strongman? Like, you just saw a flyer, or you just always was intrigued by it? Or
I was always intrigued, and because of the industry I've been in for so many years, I'm much better at lifting. I'm stronger when it comes to awkward stuff. Like I'm actually not a very strong bench presser. My deadlift needs some help. I'm okay with squatting. What I'm saying is like in the gym itself, I'm really not that strong, but like when it comes to sleds and logs and tree parts and stones, I'm pretty good. So, in the past few years, strongman's gained some popularity. So I'm like, you know what the hell? Let me give it a go.
yeah.
And my trainer, Patrick, he completely agrees. He's like, yeah, you're pretty good at the awkward stuff.
Oh my God. I remember one time you literally fell out of a tree.
Yes.
And one of the people we were with was like, so how's the sidewalk? Nobody asked like, how's Matt? They were like,
yeah, I won't mention any names, but I remember that guy.
was like, how's the sidewalk? You're like, wait a minute, I don't even know you.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who are you again?
But we were all thinking the same thing. Like, so how big was the crack that, oh, ew. First we went with the sidewalk, then we went with, oh, and how's Matt doing? Like, he's a tree guy. He's good. He's good. Oh my gosh. This is so cool to like talk about, because it's kind of what or why I'm doing this is because I think that when somebody sees like a competition, be it strongman or any other kind, they always think that person is so far removed than themselves. And
No.
no, I want people to know that although you're super beings to me, you're still human beings. You're normal, breathing. Well, you're as normal, yeah. But you're normal folk, and hopefully that inspires somebody else to say, hey, that guy did it, maybe I can do it too, or at least try to do it. Whatever we can do to be a little healthier.
Yeah, because there's so much out there now. There's you got bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit, strongman, and so much more out there. It's worth, if there's something that piques your interest even a little bit, then go for it.
Yeah, I just want people to even just take a hike, literally take a
Yeah,
hike, walk. It's all good. It's all good. If you're moving, if you're doing something, my favorite thing is dancing, which I can't do right now because, little COVID thing.
yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. So I'm like, but we try to find ways to like get out and breathe in fresh air and do stuff. I mean, you're probably not breathing in too much fresh air besides your trees. Um, that's a lot of fresh air, but
Yeah, no shortage at my job.
no. So I hope that, if somebody watches this and said, hey, I'm going to contact that guy, Matt, and see like how he did that and what's he doing? How's he training? What can I
Yeah,
do to do the same? Or maybe they don't want to enter a contest, just, someone who just may have just learned, that they too are either pre-diabetic or diabetic. How can they change their diet and things they can do to get back to being, a healthier them? That would be great.
yeah, definitely, because it just takes a little persistence, but it's actually pretty easy once you once you get on track. And here's something that important to add, that it's not too long that the cravings go away. Like, no longer sweating for like a cheesecake or ice cream, or like those sorts of cravings, a cheeseburger, pizza. They once you're taking care of yourself and on track, it's actually pretty easy. And the cravings go away quick.
So you trying to get into the routine of what it is.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah. Like even Thanksgiving, Christmas, those were my cheat days. And even then, I didn't go over the top. It was pretty normal.
Yeah, well, that eating 5 times a day, I know people never probably would believe it, but sometimes, especially when you're training specifically for something, sometimes, I don't know if you feel the same way, that's a lot of food, like that fifth meal, you're like, sometimes like, oh, I have to eat again. People may not think that that's true, but you get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm good with the food thing. Like, we can stop that.
Yeah.
Do you have that same or?
No, because these measures, it's the nice thing about working with this guy is like my menu is done. Like all I have to do is pick what I want, and everything is measured. So it's not that bad, and not once do I feel like I had a meal, but I don't feel stuffed and full.
Okay.
So the 5 meals is actually pretty easy,
All right. So
because they're
how many?
pretty manageable.
Right. So what time do you start eating and what time do you stop?
I usually start, if I'm going to average it, I'm going to say like 7 to 7.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but average 7 to 7.
Gotcha. So you got that metabolism burning all day long. Just
Yeah,
burn. That's good. That's good.
yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. So are there any other inspirational holiday words you want to give to people out there or say?
Nothing at the top of my head. Just, if people, whatever they want to do, just, go for it. Like you said, walking, hiking, jump rope. Just because we're in COVID era doesn't mean you can't do something to get off your butt and do anything. Don't especially especially for the older you get, the harder it is to lose that stuff. So it's best to stay ahead of the game.
Gotcha. Good words, Matt. Good words.
And one other thing, it's not that easy to stay in shape and keep yourself. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to keep yourself healthy.
Once you get into the routine, right? So it's just like,
yeah, and it's not as crazy. It's not as much discipline as people make it out to be. It's easy.
See, we heard it from Matt. Matt said it's easy, guys.
And you being you being a good friend, know me for a long time. You've seen that I can consume a good amount of calories. So
few.
If I'm saying it's easy, then it's definitely doable.
I don't know if you heard me, but I said just a few cows. Yes, I've literally seen people watch Matt eat. Like, is he still eating? How is that possible? I've literally gone out with Matt and a bunch of other folks, and we've eaten, and then Matt's like, I need to stop to eat. On the way back, you're like, dude, we just ate. Or he'll have a snack or a meal before we went.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could consume some food, just a little, just a little.
Yes, Arillis has dropped me off at Quick Check many times to get a snack after dinner.
Well, I really am glad that you're healthier. I'm praying that your tests come back and that your levels and everything are where they're supposed to be. I hope you definitely keep this up because we want you around for a long, long, long time.
Me too. Thank you.
Not many men, would say that he's one like an honorary girl.
Yes, I'm proud of that title too.
I want to explain. Yes, we have a small circle, people, small circle, and Matt's in the circle. He's our ride or die. Few can hold this title. So if you can get to the inner circle with the girls, man, that's some bragging rights right there.
Heck yeah, that's my proudest accomplishment.
Accomplishment. You're a little crazy. That's what we love about you. All right, sir. I'm going to get this posted so people out there can see all there is about Mr. Helme and hopefully learn a little thing or two about it. I thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this.
All right, and happy holidays to you.
Yes, happy holidays.